supplying us with commandments, discipline, and shortages, it seems to allow us to buy what we want when we want, become what we want, and realize our dream of freedom. In this book, I will argue that postmodernism originated under the star of neoliberalism, a global economic ideology whose heroes or devils, depending on your political persuasion, include Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, Deng Xiaoping, and General Augusto Pinochet. It is an ideology that stands for liberating entrepreneurial acumen from the presumed dead hand of state intervention. Before neoliberalism got us in a chokehold, advanced industrial post-war states, especially in Western Europe, had been committed to two things: the ladder and the safety net. The former gave the least fortunate the chance to rise. The latter caught them if they fell. Free education was part of the ladder, socialized medicine part of the safety net. Neoliberals such as Reagan and Thatcher kicked over the ladder and cut holes in the safety net. They shrunk the state to a humbler role. Its new task was to create a framework to defend and extend free trade, free markets, and private property rights, ameliorating poverty or creating equality of opportunity. The state could forget about such patronizing nonsense. Soon after neoliberalism was born, the world economy suffered economic recession. The 1973-74 recession and its successor in 1979-83 led to the collapse of the Fordist model of integrated industrial production. Instead, short-term contracts proliferated. Work was outsourced from Warsaw to Warsaw and still further east. The information age supplanted the manufacturing age, capital flowed more freely across the world, companies expanded globally. Your parents may have made worthwhile things for a living using now obsolete skills, but you are more likely to work in a call center for a loan consolidation website. In order that capitalism overcome recessionary crises, and indeed emerge stronger from them, neoliberalism required a populist, market-based culture of differentiated consumerism and individual libertarianism. As such, it proved more than a little compatible with that culture impulse called postmodernism, which had long been waiting in the wings, but could now emerge full-blown as a cultural and intellectual dominant, argued Marxist geographer David Harvey. But what is postmodernism? As the name suggests, it came after modernism. Postmodernism is a movement that disdained the modernist vision. Its enthusiasts saw it as a giddy, fun, libidinous carnival after the communal prison, a riot of colour and quotation that replaced modernism's acres of brutalizing concrete. But postmodernism is more than cultural handmaiden to neoliberalism, as Harvey envisaged it. It is a paradox. It is at the same time both alibi for and indictment of the neoliberal order. Worse yet, its very indictments can serve as alibis. Jenny Holzer's "Protect Me from What I Want" is a case in point. She may have conceived of it as a radical subversion of consumerist mores, and maybe it was. But if, as she hoped, her art was doing something, it was not doing much to create a happier world, if by happier she means a more just one. Another of her street art slogans from the 1980s captures this. Enjoy yourself because you can't change anything anyway. No doubt that message was ironic, indicting the playful cynicism that some have found characteristic of postmodernism. It could be decoded as saying that enjoyment and fatalism needed to be overcome in order to overthrow a demeaning economic system, and that such cynical fatalism in the face of overweening power was the problem. But at the same time, it could be taken at face value, as recommending quietism of a rather clever and self-satisfied kind. Irony is necessarily subversive because it means the opposite of what it says. But the risk of postmodern irony is that it subverts not what it sets out to critique, but the critical agency of the message itself.